Elon Musk is a worm I like to shoot spitballs and throw tomatoes at from time to time because he is a jaw-droppingly embarrassing specimen of pure cringe that it is impossible to fight the urge to clown on him. Yet, whenever I do, and whenever anyone mentions Elon in a less than flattering way, you will have the most unlovable Cro-Magnon swarm you, dogpiling like it's World War Z zombies, to try and defend Elon from whatever the slight criticism or jokes were about him. These gonad gobblers will always blow my mind because I don't understand this brain-off worship of Elon Musk. Everything they hype him up to be, he is the opposite. He is not cool. He generates AI images of himself where he's not like this meatball-shaped man. He is not for free speech like they like to hype him up as. He's not a champion of free speech by any means. In fact, I personally think he is someone that is firmly against it in almost every single instance. Like, he personally banned the word cis. He actively bans things that hurt his feelings, and today I think is a great example of that, and hopefully will be a mask-off moment for a lot of people, and open their eyes to the fact that this is not a guy who's for free speech and is not for you. Like, I'm not going to get into it, but do we even need to talk about the H-1B take? Like, come on. He's not looking to hire you. He doesn't want to know you. He doesn't want to employ you. He wants the cheapest labor, and he wants everyone to be constantly fondling his sack and being really, really nice to him because he's our special boy. It's so embarrassing. So, what I want to talk about today is what I think should be a very clear example of how Elon uses his power and where he actually stands on free speech. He is having a textbook crash out over gaming. Earlier this week, Quinn made a beautiful video that's breaking down the fact that Elon Musk is not the one who piloted his Path of Exile 2 account to the top of the leaderboard. It's not a conspiracy, it's not grasping at straws. When you finish that video, and I highly recommend you watch the whole video, it will be very clear, beyond a shadow of a doubt, Elon Musk was not the one who actually got the account to where it was. He instead gets permission from the boosters to play on it and flex it for his Twitter streams. He didn't know the very basic fundamentals of the game. However, I will say that his catastrophe of a stream, while trying to show how great he is at gaming, was enough to make me get back into grinding Path of Exile 2, because I've been slow rolling it for a while. I was still on cruel difficulty, but then watching Elon the bumbling buffoon try and play Path of Exile was like actual rage bait to get me to go back in and grind hard. So now I'm up to tier 3 waystones in the end game. It's so fucking fun. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. The point is, Elon Musk knew nothing about the game. It was very clear. And the big thing about it wasn't even that he had someone boosting his account for him. It's that he was just in this complete denial and trying to convince people that he is the best gamer alive. Like, this game's a little too easy. I'm on max difficulty, you know, swagged out mode, and I'm just kind of breezing through it because I'm just that good at games, that kind of thing. It's his reluctance to just be honest about, like, hey guys, I like this game. I don't have time to grind it, so I paid these people to grind it for me so that way I can get to the end game and, you know, play the content I want. It wouldn't have blown up to this degree. I still think that would have been a little silly, and people would have still absolutely made fun of him for it, but to a lesser degree. It just, what's the point? Why are you paying someone to boost your account? If you like the game, why not just play it on your own time, even if it's not that fast, and even if you're not top of the charts? But for Elon, the reason is because he wants everyone to view him as God's gift to humanity. So, like, I'm one of the best gamers, check the stats. And he didn't achieve it. It wasn't him. And when Quinn made this video, it very much hurt Elon, because the gamers that he's trying to appeal to were privy to the fact that he's not the gaming god he claims to be. And that damaged him. So I knew he was going to have a comical response, but I didn't expect it would be this absurd. To set the stage for what happens next, Asman and many others covered Quinn's video, as well as other people's content talking about how it was impossible that Elon was the one that actually played on that account because he is just dog shit and knows nothing about the game. Asman covered this, he talked about it, reacted to the video, and today, Elon went on Twitter and had this to say. Asman behaves like a maverick independent, but in reality has to ask his boss for permission before he can do anything. He is not his own man. He then leaked his DMs with Asman, where he said, this is Asman, I'm going to see if my editors might want to make a second account for it. And then Elon replies, sure. Who are these mysterious editors? He actually sounds like that news anchor. Who is this 4chan? Like, how can someone be this fucking out of touch and stupid? I will never cease to be shocked by the absolute idiot potion this guy seems to be boofing on the daily. Like, how? What do you mean, who are these mysterious editors? Do you not know what editors are? Holy shit. So then, Asmon explains, 2 guys, links them, and then they basically run the entire YouTube account, lol. So basically any content I post is edited or uploaded by them, and they can just get a cut of the ad rev. It's a super good system, to be honest. Almost everyone on YouTube does it. And then there's a community note there, which says what should be obvious to anyone with a functioning frontal lobe. Elon Musk seems to think Asmongold is an employee with editors overseeing him. That's incorrect. Asmongold's editors are actually his employees. They edit, upload his content for a revenue share. They don't control what he does. And then Elon Musk proceeds to take away Asmongold's checkmark on Twitter. You remember that thing Elon was like really adamant about, you know, how checkmarks were kind of like weaponized? Hey, Elon, you're doing that. So, the free speech guy, you're taking away his checkmark because he hurt your feelings, fundamentally shadow banning him, because without a checkmark, his replies and his engagement go way down and you won't really see it anymore. You're shadow banning someone who hurt your feelings. Elon is just that fucking sensitive. In fact, sensitive doesn't even really cover it. Like, my cock gets sensitive when it gets sucked for too long. I'm like, ooh. But, like, that's sensitive. Elon has reached a new level of sensitivity I did not think was even achievable by a human being. It is just fucking flabbergasted by how soft he is. He has all the money in the world, but is beyond insecure to the point that I can't believe he's a real person. This has to be some kind of, like, Android protocol that's been sent from space, from like space Redditors, in order to see like the limits of cringe that can be pushed. Come on. He's talking about editors and then saying Asmon needs his editor's permission to post things. He lacks the fundamental understanding not only of Path of Exile 2, but of life. Like of living as a sentient being. How can you even reach that conclusion? I mean, I know how he reached that conclusion because he is a turbo moron who can't, like, activate neurons and think. So he saw the word editor and made the assumption that it's like the editors that will oversee someone's work in the journalism sector. And he gets these dots, these breadcrumbs that he starts connecting from out of fucking nowhere about how, well, Asmon is actually just a pawn of his editors. That's not just wrong, that is just blatant misinformation. He is actively engaging in misinformation, making it seem like Asmon has a puppet master above him, these editors, that he has to answer to. And then he abuses his power to take away his checkmark. He is actively doing all of the things he says he is super against, and all of the people say that he hates and will never do. He does it. I don't see how a single Elon Musk nipple-suckling leech could see this and conjure up some kind of excuse for it. There's no mental gymnastics that could possibly exist to justify this behavior. It's the epitome of everything people hate. It's cringe. It's sensitive. It's an abuse of power. His feelings got hurt, so he used his power as the fucking chief general of Twitter to take away his checkmark because he hurt his feelings. And then he goes on to leak DMs. How could you possibly look at that and be like, no, that makes sense. Elon was in the right here. Like, let's say you just love Elon. You know what? I'm not your dad. You can like whoever you want, like whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me. But why do you have to like something and then love everything they ever do? Why can't you be more receptive to, like, you know, I really like Elon, but this was a bad look. I didn't like what he did here. I think this was pretty embarrassing. That's called being normal. For some reason, people just can't be normal anymore. If you like something, you have to be obsessed with it. You have to fucking love it. You have to be, like, snorting that drug constantly and shut out and hate everyone who pokes holes in it. It's so weird. I don't know why people want to live their life this way. They just want, like, the black and white. Elon good. Anyone who said Elon not good, they're bad. Elon good. I don't know why people want that. No one likes to think anymore, and with the way the internet's gone, you don't have to think anymore. You can just wait for tweets to tell you what to think, or even ChatGPT to tell you what to think. I guess it's just easier to live your life on, like, drooling autopilot mode. But I would argue that you are doing yourself a huge disservice in life if you just live this way. Where even if you really like Elon, whatever, why not just be receptive to the idea that he's not infallible? Maybe he does make mistakes. Maybe he is cringe sometimes. And you can acknowledge that, recognize that, and then at the end of the day, still like him if you want. It just doesn't compute with me. And of course, it's not exclusive to Elon. It's a very normal thing now all of a sudden where if you like something or like someone, anything that is brought up that's negative about it is like the end of the world to you. And then you spend hours a day arguing with bots on Twitter about it and defending the thing you like. I just don't get it. Elon Musk, I think, is just the best example of this phenomenon because his fan base does PR for him as if it's their actual job. Like, they are professional PR drones for Elon that he doesn't even have to pay. Because they are in the trenches every single minute of every single day, suckling on him, arguing on his behalf, shutting down any criticisms against him. It's just so embarrassing. Almost as embarrassing as Elon himself. So yeah, anyway, I had to talk about this. Because what an incredible response from Elon to just take away Asmon's checkmark and then leak his DMs where he completely misunderstands that editors aren't like his overseers. I was going to wait a little bit longer before fully diving in on this, but I've talked about it on stream, tickling the subject here and there, with Elon Musk's weirdest lie so far about being a Path of Exile 2 top player. For as long as I can remember, Elon has always touted himself as basically a gaming god, where anytime he picks up the sticks, he becomes one of the best to ever do it. And he's been trying that with Path of Exile 2, puffing out his chest, popping his collar, letting people know that he has one of the top characters in the game. Which he does, except it's very clear from the live stream he did, it's not actually his character. He has one or a team of people that actually pilot this character, and they just give him permission to go on the account to flex it. It's not a hurricane machine conspiracy theory. It is beyond a shadow of a doubt true that Elon Musk does not play this game. His account that he showed is definitely not played by him. And it's very clear through the live stream, which we'll go through in a moment, because Quinn made a great video breaking it all down to show just how obvious it is.
So let's start off with some context. Elon Musk's character is currently level 97, aka rank 12 on hardcore, that's permanent death mode. Currently, what is their highest ranked player? They're level 97, same as Elon Musk. So, I mean, he effectively has been playing, pretty much just doing nothing except playing Path of Exile. So let's just go over some of the things that happened.
The reason I wanted to wait a little longer before diving into the spaghetti and meatballs of this is because I wanted to see Elon's response to it, because I know he's seen it. He is more addicted to social media than an Overwatch gooner. He is glued to this shit 24/7, so I am confident he is well aware that the entire gaming community is privy to his fraudulent claims of being one of the top Path of Exile players, and I just wanted to see how he would tackle that, because his responses are always glorious. It's always the most cringe shit imaginable, where he posts like an AI photo of himself as Iron Man. I am Irony Man. You call yourself the Joker, yet you can't take a joke. Ironic. And I wanted to see him do some garbage like that for this, but he hasn't yet, and I just really want to talk about it, because it is so clownish.
And he opens up his bank, and he goes to a tab called Elon's Maps, which immediately is a little bit of a red flag, because I don't know why you would refer to yourself in third person, but okay, he does that. He then proceeds to walk up to his map device and go to put a map in. The literal first thing you learn upon getting to the end game is how to operate this map device. You're going to start off at a node, and then from that node, you can go to adjacent connected maps. Now, Elon, he's trying to click.
Oh, he's trying to do the map that's not in the chain.
He's just clicking a map repeatedly, trying to access it. He was not eligible to enter that map.
I just want you guys to understand, this is one of the highest level hardcore characters in the game. He would have played thousands of maps at this point.
I don't know how many of you have ever subjected yourself to the torture of trying to watch an Elon Musk stream, but they are agonizing when he tries to stream a game, because it's like 30 minutes of actual nothing burgers where he will sit there AFK and all you get is just background noise. The banging of pans sounds like shit falling over. It's like listening to Legos exploding, and then he'll like occasionally talk and he's still doing nothing, and then maybe he'll do like briefly one map. Watching Snoop Dogg stream when he left and just left it running for like a day was more entertaining than trying to sit through an Elon Musk Twitter stream. They're fucking brutal. So Quinn going through this cut out a lot of that. And when he's actually trying to play the game, he doesn't know what he's doing. So what he's showing here is he has that tab called Elon's Maps, which is a weird thing to do, but he's a quirky guy. Maybe he refers to himself in the third person. You could maybe try and conjure up some kind of argument there, because he is just so peculiar as an individual that he would do that. But the big smoking gun in this intro is that he doesn't even know how to use the in-game map. He doesn't know what he's doing. Like, I'm not even to that point in the game, yet looking at that map, I can tell you what is and is not accessible just through the basic understanding of how games work. He is clicking on a grayed out node. He is repeatedly clicking on it, expecting something different to happen. It's fucking grayed out, goofball. You clearly can't go there yet. But he doesn't understand it.
Anyone who's level 97 is, and you know, we're talking one of the most efficient players in the game, period. There is no way you would do that. Why just like sitting there like some sort of geriatric old man clicking this node, expecting something to happen, and then he finally kind of gives up after a while, and then realizes his mistake. We then get a look at his inventory. So Elon Musk is stuck going into the map and with full bags. If you're an efficient player, you're going to clear a map, you're going to loot the valuable items.
And you're going to sell the trash, keep the good stuff, salvage the bad stuff. Everyone knows that. It's not just being an efficient player, it's just being a player in general. Elon Musk goes into it with a full inventory. You don't have to be a Path of Exile player to know that that's pretty stupid. If you're playing a game that revolves around getting loot, why would you go in with no ability of collecting loot? It doesn't make sense. Unless, of course, you're Elon, who doesn't actually play the game and can't wrap his head around that concept that, you know, having a full inventory kind of defeats the whole purpose. You'd want to get rid of your trash. Or if all of that is just treasure, just absolute beautiful loot you don't want to part with, you'd put it in your stash. You wouldn't take it into the map with you because you need the space in your inventory. That is like actual basics. And he's already failing on the most fundamental aspects of playing not only this game, but any games even similar to it. It's actually a rookie mistake that I myself was making when I was first starting this game, where I was just taking unnecessary shit with me. I didn't realize just how quick and easy it was to just go store it or sell it. You can just click a single button, it'll make a portal to the town, and you could just sell it and then go right back through that portal to where you were. You don't lose any time or anything. It's not a hassle or a chore, and it's something that once you start playing the game, you become privy to. But Elon Musk doesn't really play this game, it seems, yet somehow has one of the top accounts in the whole fucking hardcore space. How odd.
So what I'm doing here is just boosting my shield before battle via meditation. Meditation before battle is always good.
And he starts killing monsters. He starts obliterating monsters with his character. But what becomes obviously apparent...
Chaos Orb, no loot filter.
Is like, no, he's just running past Chaos Orbs! He just ran past the Chaos Orb!
Chaos Orbs are one of the most important currencies, and they're also really rare. I have about 140 Exalts. I have like 9 Chaos Orbs. Just so you guys understand.
This fucking goober doesn't even have the wherewithal to loot one of the most valuable currencies in the game with a Chaos Orb. So I'm 30 hours deep. I've seen one. I've seen one in 30 hours. And he just runs right by it. He doesn't know the game at all. The only thing he loots are completely meaningless waystones. They're not fully meaningless, but for where he's at in the game, it's not what you'd be prioritizing for loot. But the reason he's clicking the waystones is because those are what's highlighted. Meanwhile, Chaos Orb wasn't highlighted, so in Elon Musk's little, like, caveman brain, not shiny, not need. So he just ignores it. He doesn't know the game.
It's unfathomable for someone to be in the top ranks without loot filter. Yet, Elon Musk, the god gamer, he doesn't play with a loot filter. The only thing Elon does pick up are maps, because the default in-game loot filter highlights those. Those things are worthless. The actual items of value that he should be picking up, that he would have had to pick up in order to get the gear, leave it on the ground. He gets to the boss, he's fighting the boss, and I want to say for about 10 seconds, he sits there and he's out of mana. Mana is a resource in this game where you need it in order to use your abilities. He just sits there, default attacking the boss without activating his mana flask. Anyone who's played the game and understands the character would understand, like, oh, I'm not doing any damage because I'm out of mana.
There's no explanation for him being bad at this character at this level. If he was the one that has been piloting it this whole journey, he would have mastered it. And what Quinn is pointing out is that he clearly hasn't. You can tell from his gameplay. When he's fighting this boss here, he is out of mana for an inexcusably long period of time. In Path of Exile 2, if you go out of mana, if you play League of Legends, you can immediately pop a mana flask and get it back to continue optimizing your DPS. He doesn't do that. His character is juiced out the wazoo, so he's able to get away with being so dog shit. But the fact that he doesn't pop his mana flask for like 10 seconds is crazy to me. And anybody who plays the game. It's not him being some kind of chess master galaxy braining this where he's being frugal with his mana. Well, actually, I made a calculation that it would be suboptimal if I had popped one of my fucking 20 mana flasks at this moment because you wouldn't understand. I'm one of the top players in the game. I'm thinking, well, 5 steps ahead of you. It's just him just being bad. It's him being bad at this character because it's not really his character. Whoever is piloting this account behind the scenes and boosting it lets Elon go on and do these really easy maps where even when he's super shit, he can get away with being bad and not be punished for it.
He then goes on to loot items off the ground. He starts dragging them into his bag. Like, I don't even know how to describe to you how painful that is to anyone who actually plays the game. And his bags are full and he just keeps clicking it over and over and over again. Nobody, not even people who are kind of noobs at the game, do this. I don't even think Elon Musk has done the campaign, honestly.
I also don't think he's finished the campaign, and I'm going to go a step further. I don't think he has ever really played an ARPG to a high level at all, including Diablo. Nobody, I mean actually nobody, is going to drag their loot into their bag once they spend any amount of hours in Path of Exile or Diablo or anything. No one's going to be doing that. That is a mistake that only your grandpappy would make if you sat him down to play this game where you just slowly drag in the loot. Nobody fucking does that. So I really question the authenticity of his claims of being one of the top Diablo players through his own sheer blood, sweat, tears, and elbow grease and cum. I think something similar has been happening for him on Diablo, where he has people behind the scenes playing the game for him, and then he just goes on occasionally to do a couple maps to flex on Twitter streams.
You're also an innovator there.
Yeah, I've played a lot of video games.
You think about like StarCraft, any game where a lot of people are playing. To rise to the top, you have to be exceptional, period, as a human being.
Yeah.
There has to be something exceptional about you.
Yeah.
Are you in the top 20 in the world or top 20 wow, in Diablo?
Yeah.
A ton of people are calling this into question now after watching the Path of Exile stream because those are transferable skills. If you're really good at Diablo, you should at least be pretty good at Path of Exile. And he's just not. And he lacks the basic understanding of ARPG fundamentals. So how the fuck could he be one of the top Diablo players and be this clueless for Path of Exile? It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't compute.
His settings on the map transparency are turned on by default. His life values are turned on. All these basic settings that anyone in the top 100 would do, he is not doing. Maps can effectively have different content on them, and that content will be signified by icons on the map. So it could be a map which has an expedition in it, a breach in it, or it could be corrupted. Elon starts looking through the atlas, and he finds a map with, I kid you not, 4 things on it.
There are 4 things there. So this one has a real risk of dying.
4 things. What are those things?
God, dude. 4 things. It's 4 things, dude.
You can't just write this off as him being lazy and trying to put it in layman's terms, because this stream of him flexing his Path of Exile 2 achievements isn't made for, you know, your uncle or something who's a big Elon meat swallower. This is like specifically catered to gamers. So it makes no sense that he would just write that off as just 4 things. And also, his settings make no sense for someone in the top 100. No loot filter and all of the basics still on. That's how I play. And I am nowhere near a top player in Path of Exile 2 at all. It doesn't work. That excuse of him just being lazy, it doesn't work. He could not achieve what he has in Path of Exile 2 with these settings and the way he approaches the game. It's clearly just not him that has got the character to this point. He doesn't know what those 4 things are, which is why he calls it that.
He then goes on to say, "Oh, kid you."
This is max difficulty on hardcore. If there's a way to get higher difficulty, I don't know what it is, but this is everything maxed out.
Path of Exile has boss fights and endgame bosses, which are quote-unquote difficult battles, which Elon actually did do in one of his streams, where he just went into the endgame boss and died repeatedly to it. Maps are just farming. You go into maps and you farm them for loot and experience. They're not the most difficult battles, and I don't know if he's trying to deceive people watching a stream into thinking that he's doing some insanely hard thing, whenever he's literally doing something you do to effectively grind or farm.
Listening to Elon talk about Path of Exile 2 is like listening to the out-of-touch writers in CSI, where they'd have things like, "Yeah, I have all the top scores in every MMORPG ever. I am elite noob slayer." Like, when they try and relate to gamers, that's Elon with Path of Exile 2. It's such a weird thing to lie about, because this isn't a cool thing to anyone that's not already playing Path of Exile 2, but anyone who plays the game would immediately recognize he's just making shit up and doesn't actually know what he's doing or saying. And it's just classic Elon. This is a max difficulty Turbo XL Super Arcade. In fact, I'm the only one that's unlocked this difficulty setting, and I just wish it was a little bit harder, because for someone of my intellect, it's just a bit beneath me. But yeah, this is maxed out difficulty on hardcore. You can see I'm breezing through it. I wish I could increase the difficulty a little bit just to stimulate myself a bit more, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm just too good for it. Like, the way he talks about this game, while clearly being clueless on it, he's actually infuriating. I can't fucking stand it.
And Elon Musk starts going over his gear.
This is a great staff, but it's only a level, 62 staff.
His weapon is, I kid you not, one of the best, if not the best staffs on the entire hardcore trade league. You cannot even buy it. Insane weapon.
Not only does Elon have a staff that you can't even buy, but it's so good that second best one, which is missing 2 of what makes a staff so powerful for an invoker, which is the crit and crit bonus, is still 20 divines, and that's obviously very expensive.
Here I am, like, level 95, but my staff is only level 62.
That is something that you learn pretty early on into the game, that the actual level of gear isn't the most important part about it. That's just the requirement to equip it. Quinn gave an example that one of the strongest, most meta builds at the moment uses a weapon that is level 1 requirement. A level 1. If Elon Musk had that on his stream, he would have probably blown a fucking gasket. He would have had a conniption, thinking that his boosters were doing a bad job. But they're doing such a good job that it has become blatantly obvious that Elon is not the one behind it at all. His weapon is nuts, yet he is fixated on it being level 62, thinking it's beneath him because he's a much higher level. He doesn't grasp the concept that it's not the level that makes the weapon good, it's all of the blue stuff there. You can't reach this point in the game without that basic understanding. You just can't. Like, he's talking like he needs to upgrade his weapon soon. Like, yeah, I need to get myself a better weapon, one that reaches my potential at level 95. But for now, this is getting the job done. I'm able to do all of this with such a low-leveled weapon. It's fucking insanity.
My helmet is level 56.
Int, lightning, and chaos resist. Okay. It's only 56.
Amulet level 61. Ring is only level 48, 49. At least a level 75 jacket.
It's a jacket with 6 things. Yeah, tell us how bad the item that only drops from the highest difficulty of the hardest boss. Just tell us that it's only level 52. Did you find this at level 52? That's impressive.
Level 52 here.
They can only ever be level 52. Bro, Elon Musk is a fucking fraud, bro.
Pretty low level compared to my character level, but it seems to work pretty well. In softcore, you can get much better equipment.
Seems to work pretty well is an understatement. He is a fucking force of nature with this gear. He is beyond juiced. The actual pilots of this account have done an extraordinary job of making an absolute deity with this gear here. And yet Elon can't recognize that, because he's not the one that did it. He only mentions the item's level, the least important part about items in the game. And once again, the excuse of, oh, he's just being lazy and he's trying to put it in layman's terms so people can understand. People know, like, level 62 versus level 95. Well, no, because that doesn't work, because the 62 is extremely good regardless of him being level 95. He could be level 1000 and that level 62 weapon is still going to be fucking unbelievable. He just doesn't understand how the game works. He just doesn't. Like, if he didn't want to go into detail on everything for his gear during the stream, that's fine, but he is actively saying that the gear isn't really good because of its level, which is so false, it's laughable. That's why he is being giggled at by both Crip and Quinn during this, because he is beyond clueless as to what he's even looking at and what he's talking about. And from his gameplay, it seems he doesn't even really know how to play the game itself either. I would wager a guess he's maybe spent a couple of hours actually playing the game, but only, like, clearing maps. I don't think he has ever picked up a piece of fucking gear in his life or worked on a build or anything at all. I don't think he even knows how to use, like, skill gems or support gems or anything. I bet if you asked him to bring up, like, certain things, like explain why this gym is where it is, he would have no clue why. If he brought up his skill tree, he would have no idea what's even on it. And, like, if you asked him about trials, he would hit you with big fucking question marks or just ignore it and move on. He doesn't know the game. And he proved it with this live stream here. But the question needs to be asked, why? Why even lie about this in the first place? Again, this isn't something cool to people who don't play Path of Exile, but anyone who plays Path of Exile is going to recognize that you're a fraud. This is not your account. If he was honest about it, saying like, hey, I tried Path of Exile, I really liked it, but I don't have time to grind it, so I paid people to grind it for me, I think people would have a little bit more respect for that, as opposed to him cosplaying as one of the top players, pretending he's the one actually putting in the work and doing it, when he's definitely not.
And if you needed any more proof that Elon is 100% boosted, he was playing the game today inside of maps, blasting, while simultaneously on a X space.
Yeah, RIP. So Elon's account, Percy, did die, and in hardcore that is permadeath. And I'm not sure if it was Elon that died on it, or if one of the people he paid to boost it made a mistake while grinding. I'm not sure. But I love the idea that it was Elon who bit the dust on it and bought the farm, because the people that actually put the hundreds of hours into getting this account so juiced out the wazoo are probably fucking furious. Like, they set Elon's maps aside, which are very easy maps for him to clear for the sake of flexing on Twitter with this account that they're actually putting the work into, and yet somehow this bumbling buffoon still finds a way to die on this overpowered character, just reverting all of their hard work to zero. It's just a beautiful thought, because they set aside easy maps for him. And maybe he got a little too big for his britches. Maybe what happened is he saw all the people, calling him out for obviously not playing this game. He's like, okay, I'll put on my big boy britches and I'll do some hard content, and immediately just gets fucking washed. Like, just actually rinsed. I'm very excited to learn how exactly this account perished, because I feel like he'd probably mention it, like, what happened? What went so wrong? But yeah, I wanted to talk about this a bit. It's such a weird, stupid thing to even lie about in the first place, and yet here he is, telling blatantly obvious fibs. He's got all the money in the world and all of the insecurity imaginable. He has this desperate, insatiable appetite for unconditional love from everyone, and in this pursuit makes everyone hate him through being just a lying cringe-lord. Like, this is such an unnecessary lie to even tell. He just wants to be viewed as the smartest person to ever grace this fucking space rock that we live on, and the best at everything he even attempts to do, even when he's just not. He could have actually probably scored a ton of brownie points with gamers by saying, hey, Path of Exile 2 is a really good game, I'm learning it right now, watch me stream the early game content. And people probably would have actually really applauded that, because he's playing it on his own two legs here. He's playing and learning it, and that could have been a really easy way to relate to gamers. Like, hey, this game's great. I'm going to start learning to grind it. I'm not very good right now, but if you want to check out my early game, here's the stream. And I bet it would have been received far better than this dog shit. He is poorly playing an account that has never actually been piloted by him. but it's an account with a lot of prestige because it's so high ranked, and that is like the most appealing thing to Elon. It's just, it makes... Yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. What you're about to see is going to make you upset. But I'm showing you this for your own good. For too long, you've lived in ignorance, burying your head in the sand, hiding in shadows, trying to avert your eyes from the truth. And now it's my job to drag you kicking and screaming into the light. OnlyFans. All of us have heard of it. This platform has blown up significantly over the last 2 years. It's become like the peanut butter and jelly of porn. Every single person has tried to make an OnlyFans at this point. But I don't think many people, myself included, realized how much money the top creators on OnlyFans are pulling in. Recently, Amaranth and Belle Delphine posted their OnlyFans earnings, and they are fucking shocking. Just look at this. Amaranth has pulled in 33.7 mil in total. Amaranth made more than the newest Matt Damon movie, and this was released worldwide. She's making on average $1.5 million a month. That's more than most professional athletes. People are spending money on Amaranth's OnlyFans like it's microtransactions in Diablo Immortal. This is like the Pokemon Go of porn. She's making so much money, and she doesn't do like fully nude photos or anything either. She basically posts shit that you see people post freely on Instagram, but she puts it behind a paywall. It's genius. I've said this for like 2 years now since OnlyFans blew up. It is the smartest hustle anyone can do because most of the top percent on OnlyFans don't even do like actual porn or nudity. It's fucking nuts. I think Amaranth only ever posted one fully topless picture and made $500,000 off that single picture. Just one photo of her titties made more money than the majority of people will ever see in their entire lives. Imagine if she did that once a week. Like one picture every week of her bare honkers, she'd probably outsell lottery tickets. And Belle Delphine's not far behind her. Her melons are also working overtime here, bringing in fat stacks of cash. She made right around $30 million here. This was a screenshot she posted in her most recent music video. And this one's actually a more thorough breakdown of where it comes from. So we can really analyze this. Clearly the bulk of it comes from subscriptions, 22.8 million just from subs. But then in second place at almost 7 million is messages. And then deeply in last place is tips at 240k. That was actually shocking to me. I assumed tips would be like the least lucrative, just because, you know, not many people are going to come around and just toss money into the piggy bank here for free and get nothing in return. But I still thought there'd be a lot more kind, gentle sirs that would just be donating to Milady for the sake of it. So that was actually really surprising to me that it's that far behind the rest. Now I want to briefly talk about messages there. So on OnlyFans, you can set it up so that way if people want to message you, they have to pay for it. Obviously a great way of farming a parasocial relationship and getting as much juice for the squeeze as you can from it. So with Belle Delphine here, we can see she's made like $6.9 million off of that, which is really fucking smart. So every message that someone is sending to her, they are putting money behind it. It's just like leaving behind a note, do you like me, circle yes or no, with a $200 attached to it. And I imagine like 98% of these messages go unanswered, so you just toss money at the void here, hoping to hear back. And then I imagine there's people that'll double, triple, even quadruple message, and all the while paying for each one. Like going to a payphone, but only ever getting the ringtone, if that payphone costs a lot more money. It's super smart, and I'm pretty sure that's how it works with messages that you can pay for. I think you can set it up so every single message is like paid, not just the first one, though I'm not 100% sure. Either way, it's a massive moneymaker, clearly, and I really was blown away by these numbers. I knew OnlyFans creators at the top level were making a lot, but I didn't know it was 8 figures. I thought we were talking like mid 7 figures or something like that, but no, this is huge. And OnlyFans has only really blown up over the last 2 years. So this is like 15 mil a year between the two of them here. Hats off to them. And also I want to say I never understand why people get mad at like Amaranth or Belle Delphine for doing OnlyFans, or really any woman for that matter. It's extremely smart. And like I said, the majority of them don't even do like nudity. They're basically just posting Instagram pictures, but people pay for them. It's like free money. It's an actual infinite money cheat code. I don't understand why people shame them for it. This is just a classic example of don't hate the player, hate the game. There's clearly tons of dudes out there willing to pay top dollar for shit most people get for free. and there's no reason not to hose them down for those doubloons. Like, again, they're not even really doing nudity or anything. They're just posting, like, shit you see all over Twitter for free, but behind a paywall, and getting rewarded for it. I don't know what there is to get upset at them for. You can be mad at the dudes paying for it, I guess, if you want to, but I don't think it's healthy to be mad at them either. Like, why not just make your own OnlyFans? That's the perspective I had when I made my secret feet OnlyFans. I talked about this last year. I went incognito mode. I went undercover on OnlyFans and made a completely isolated OnlyFans, not associated with me at all, and it focused on my feet. So I posted pictures of my feet as well as a couple videos and hope to get a following and see how like difficult it is to actually go from 0 to top 1% of OnlyFans. So I'd promote it on like Twitter occasionally, and after about 8 or 9 months, I had 0 followers, 0 subscribers, whatever, nothing. Literally nothing. Radio silence, crickets. My feet OnlyFans was a colossal disaster, so much so that I'm never going to say the name of it because I'm so ashamed. I'm so embarrassed. If it got really popular, I wouldn't have shut the fuck up about it. I would have been rubbing it in people's faces like, I told you my feet were cool, I knew I could do it, and then also make a point like, yeah, you can actually grow an OnlyFans pretty easily. But that wasn't the lesson I learned. I learned that my feet are probably ugly, and it's not easy to grow an OnlyFans without already being established online somewhere. So I got a little lost in the sauce there. The point is, I have nothing but respect for the grind. Clearly it's paying off. Also, one OnlyFans creator dwarfs their earnings by a lot. Danielle Bergoli, Bad Baby. She has made $50 million on OnlyFans. The day she turned 18, she started an OnlyFans and made $50 million. That is so, well, A, creepy for the people that were like literally counting down the minutes till midnight for her to turn 18 and subscribe to her OnlyFans. And B, fucking wild how much money there is on the OnlyFans platform for people. That's so nuts. That is actual insanity. I really do wonder how much the #1 male earning OnlyFans creator is pulling in, because I have to imagine it's nowhere near these numbers. It's probably not even in the same ballpark. Dude's probably made like $80 on it. Like, I have no idea, because I feel like 99% of every user on OnlyFans are guys who went there specifically to sign up to one person's OnlyFans that they found on Twitter. Like, if you go to pretty much any comment thread on Twitter, could be about anything, like, hey, good news, just published my newest book, and then the comments will be like, yeah, but I just published this new shit on OnlyFans. Like, any profile you click on Twitter is going to have a link to their OnlyFans, and I feel like the majority of users on OnlyFans are these people, these desperate people that found them through Twitter or whatever, and just followed them to OnlyFans and signed up. And then are like desperately paying to toss messages at them or get their attention somehow. Like, I don't think there's a massive organic audience that goes like through a bunch of different OnlyFans. I feel like they go there specifically for individuals that they've found online or have already followed in the past. I don't think there's a massive market on OnlyFans for male creators. At least I don't think so. I'm just talking out of my ass here because I have no data to back it up. I haven't seen any male OnlyFans creators post these kinds of screenshots to talk about their earnings. I obviously know some of them do well for themselves. Like, I know Tyga has his own OnlyFans that actually does decently for itself. But even there, I don't know how much that's making compared to these. It's definitely significantly less, if I had to guess. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about this because I found the topic super interesting, because this is just pulling back the curtain on something I think a lot of us wanted to know, which is how much the OnlyFans top level are pulling in. And it's way, way more than I thought. No, this is fresh. This has nothing to do with Roblox. This drama was unfolding while I was lifting, and I was reading about it in between sets. And then the second I finished working out, I just hopped on stream. I didn't even bother showering, which is why I look so goddamn greasy right now. I felt like J. Jonah Jameson, who just got some pictures of Spider-Man committing a crime. High school drama? Don't pretend like it's not entertaining. And to be fair, if they do try and sue for defamation of character, that's a big deal. I think that would be the first case of a streamer suing another streamer for defamation based off nothing. Pokimane was just showing clips and DMs that Ninja and his wife actually said, and now they're threatening legal action via defamation of character. So, LSF has just become full-blown TMZ today. It's nothing but the Pokimane and Ninja drama, which is fine because I'm super invested in this soap opera for now. I think I pulled up all the relevant clips. So this is patient 0. This is where it starts, 4 days ago. To give context, Gideon is the streamer that recently just got banned because he had his community go to Pokimane while she was streaming and spam L plus ratio or whatever happened there. It was a harassment campaign according to the Twitch terms of service, so he got banned for it. 4 days ago, he was on Ninja's stream, so this was before he got banned, and this happened.
Nothing negative. No L's. Don't spam your chat to raid someone and spam L's. Don't rate. If you're gonna ratio bitches, and that's not. Bitch! You stick to Twitter. All right, maybe TikTok L spam. You'll get away with it.
Hey, say less, Ninja.
Twitch, dude.
Say less, Ninja.
You didn't call her that. He didn't call her that.
No. I said me. Me. It was me. That was my. I meant bitches in general, as in like you.
The desperate backpedal. So, Gideon, this was right after his hate raid on Pokimane, which got him banned. This was right before that happened. So he dropped gift subs to Ninja and had his community in Ninja's chat. And Ninja said, you know, you can't send people to harass him if you're gonna ratio bitches, do it on Twitter or whatever. And Gideon took that as Ninja calling her a bitch. And to be fair, that's what it does sound like. You know, I don't think Ninja would say you can't send a harassment campaign to bitches if he did it to like Mizkif or something, right? So Gideon took it as Ninja's calling her a bitch. And today, Pokimane was just going over this entire drama. She just explains the situation of this clip I just showed you. She doesn't take any liberties or spin it in other ways. She literally just explains it.
You can't run around raiding bitches on Twitch. Which Dijon obviously immediately takes as Ninja calling me a bitch. And Ninja then says he meant bitches generally. I wonder if Ninja would have said bitches if it was a large male streamer that was hate rated, but I digress.
I didn't even know Ninja said bad words.
He then says, like verbatim, the most I can do is text my Twitch representative about this. And then he proceeds to do just that.
So that's where it all started today, from an event from 4 days ago. And Ninja and his wife/manager were not too happy about it. So that isn't a baseless claim. On stream, he said that he can text his... Where was it? It's somewhere here. Here. He said that he can text his Twitch rep to help Gideon out, and then he proceeds to do it, or at least pretend to do it on stream.
Bro. All right. I sent the text. I don't promise a goddamn thing. Because at the end of the day, what happened.
So, like, actual anime villain shit. I swear on my grandfather's life, who just passed away, that I didn't text my Twitch rep, and you are making a big mistake. I can literally see him writing that as he's, like, doing this with his hands, twirling his mustache. Like, and he pretended to do it on stream, so if he really didn't text him, he could have just said, yeah, I pretended to do that on stream, in order to look cool in front of Gideon. But he's not saying that, he's just outright denying it ever happened.
Jaw on the fucking ground, bro.
Yeah, so the strategy was they denied it happened. After Pokey proved it happened, Ninja's manager/wife's response was this. And this is what makes it so entertaining as a spectator sport. This was dangerous. There could have been a council of cock here, but I took the risk. Yep. Fucking threatening a lawsuit for defamation of character for literally just describing what Ninja publicly did and showing clips of him doing it. Why does it have to be something like, who cares, this isn't going to change my life? Well, I mean, neither is watching The Mandalorian, but it's still fun. He wants views, it's the meta right now? I don't think he did that. I don't think that was his plan. Gideon was watching, Ninja didn't want to look like a bitch, so he was, puffed up his chest a little bit. He's like, hey, check this out, Fortnite kids. Don't ratio bitches. oh, and then he backpedals really hard. He's like, uh-oh. And then his wife made everything significantly worse. And them trying to, intimidate or abuse the legal system for some reason is even sillier. Have Twitch streamers slash managers ever tried to sue you for dumb shit? Onision pretended to be his own manager once to try and sue me. But it didn't really work because he made a lot of spelling mistakes in his lawsuit, and it was pretty clear he himself wrote it. Real quick, Charlie from the future, still super greasy. I just wanted to further explain. The defamation of character lawsuit is in direct response to Pokey literally just explaining what she saw in Ninja's clips. Pokey didn't do anything further. She never said that Ninja called her a bitch or anything like that I see a lot of people spin it on Twitter. She literally just said, Ninja said, can't ratio bitches, and Gideon thought Ninja called her a bitch. All of it does sound like high school drama, but not because Pokey did it. Like, it's not her fault. She was literally just talking about the clips, and for some reason, people lost their fucking mind, and Jessica eventually threatened a lawsuit about it. And then Pokimane claiming that Ninja sent a message to his Twitch rep is again backed up by a clip of Ninja doing just that, or at least pretending to on stream. So the big deal of this defamation suit is how goofy it is, considering there's no argument to even be made here, because Pokey never defamed his character or made shit up or lied about Ninja. Pokey literally just explained those clips as she was going over this whole drama to her audience. All she did was say exactly what happened in those clips. People like to pretend like anytime sexism is brought up, it's not real, but you literally only have to look at any situation involving a girl, and you can see a very, very, very different response. Every time something happens with Pokey, it's always the same shit. Whore, must be a tier 3 simp to this bitch. She's too busy sucking dick to give a good take. Who cares? Dumb bitch. She's wearing makeup. Every time. That doesn't happen when it's a dude. Like, no one's saying that shit about Ninja. Like, you don't see... Ninja right now is the one that's getting blasted, but no one is making statements like that. But they do about Pokey or any other girl when it involves them. You can pretend that it doesn't happen. I understand the copium, but it does. Like, it literally does. It is just a fact. It's not the majority of people, but it is a very loud group of them. Even though in this situation, I don't know how anyone could take Ninja's side. All Pokey did was go over Tyler's fucking clips and explain the clips. There was no misinformation. The one absolute defense against the defamation lawsuit is truth. And all she did was watch him say that he is sending a message to the Twitch rep. So this would be the quickest payday for Pokey if they actually tried. Poor millionaire streamers. I wish people would stop saying that. It's entertaining. It's just entertainment. I don't think anyone's actually upset. Like, oh my god, now Ninja's gonna lose money! It's just, look at Ninja's stupid tweet, or DM where he said, you made a big mistake, Buster. Did you see the girl who's selling her shit now? Oh, you're talking about the poop jar. Yeah, so that girl that was selling her farts, now that she's retired due to medical conditions, there's a girl who's now selling just her shit. Like her actual poop. That one's not as interesting though, she's clearly just riding off the other one's coattails. I will say, I think the person that's most upset about Jessica sending this DM is Ninja. I bet Ninja was so upset to hear that his wife threatened a defamation of character lawsuit. He's not a dumb guy. He knows that this is a stupid idea. I bet she did this completely without him knowing, and then he hopped on Twitter, he's like, fuck, this is becoming a big deal, hopefully nothing escalates it further, refreshes and sees this and just cries. Just sat there, tears in his fucking eyes. Because he can't just publicly be like, yeah, my wife did something silly. Now he has to sit there and be like, yep, guess I'm going to court. Like I said, having your wife as your manager makes very, very emotional. It's way too attached to the actual drama. This was one of those things where she was just seeing red and sent this thinking that it'd be enough to make Pokey like delete her clips or something and brush it all under the rug. And this is exactly the shit I'm talking about. Someone shoot Pokey in the eyes, someone free Gideon. That's the exact shit I'm talking about. It happens from Zamius. Happens every time. Whenever it involves a fucking woman, people get so upset. That dude's entire post history was Pokey's a bitch, a whore, makeup wearing whore, and then the last one right there, free Gideon, someone shoot Pokey in the eyes, please. Happens every time, and people pretend that it's the same with like Ninja. You don't see anyone saying that kind of awful shit about Ninja. That's the point I'm making, and people get upset when I say it. It is a real thing. Now granted, Zymius doesn't speak for the whole community or anything of like Gideon fans, but it is a loud portion that says that shit. And I don't know why people try and like pretend that it doesn't happen. Again, it's not the majority, but it does happen. Yeah, so as of making this video, it's like 2-day-old drama, so it's fucking ancient now, but I just wanted to at least get it out there because I am curious to see where it goes if they actually do pursue a defamation of character. Is your tummy grumbling? Your stomach empty? I don't know if you've eaten yet, but I'm going to feed you regardless, so open wide because here comes the airplane. Surprise! We're feasting on a delicate cuisine of more Sniper Wolf drama. A nutritious part of every complete meal. It's been 4 weeks since the doxing of Jack's films, and since then I've made like 2 follow-ups because it's just been this snowball that's turned into an avalanche of dog shit that continues to develop. She's a Darman star, so to put it in Darman terminology so we're all on the same page, this is what happens in the dark coming to light. Before getting into the newest situation revolving around her, I'll just go ahead and give you a little follow-up to the previously on Dragon Ball Z developments. So it's been 3 weeks since the last time I talked about it. That was when she made an apology, which she misspells Jack's film's name in multiple times, which showcases a clear lack of giving a fuck about it. And then also, it was when YouTube weighed in saying that they're going to temporarily suspend her monetization. They didn't specify the length of time, but I'll just go ahead and tell you it's been 3 weeks now, and she is still demonetized from everything I can see. Going in on incognito mode, turning off ad block, going in on mobile, there are no ads playing on her main channel videos. So it seems that they still are slapping her down there in the old piggy bank. And if I'm being honest, like a fork in an electrical outlet, I am shocked. I cannot believe that she's still demonetized. I thought for sure it would only last a week, maybe 2 weeks as things start to blow over, and then they just secretly flip that switch back on and monetize it. They haven't. It has been 3 weeks, and she is still not monetized. Now this does kind of lead into a subject people were talking about quite a bit a few weeks back where Sniper Wolf found a way to circumvent this by uploading old content onto another one of her channels which at the time was monetized. It was this channel, and from my understanding it is no longer monetized. I also went on incognito mode, fucking full raw, no rubber, no ad block, anything at all, went on the channel and there's still no ads. So it seems like that did get demonetized if it ever was monetized in the first place, and this led to a whole new can of worms being opened about whether or not Sniper Wolf is ban evading, which violates another one of YouTube's policies since she got demonetized on her main channel, and in order to keep making money off content, she posted it on another one. And of course, it is very interesting that the last upload there was 3 weeks, even though it was consistent up until that point, meaning probably when it got demonetized, she stopped doing it. So personally, I'll weigh in on that quickly. I don't think that's ban evading by the actual terms of service with YouTube. Is it scummy? Absolutely. But she didn't get away with it. They did act quickly in demonetizing it, at least from what I can tell. So I don't think she's going to be, like, punished for that in any big way. They're just going to continue to keep her demonetized. Which, again, is a mind-boggling thing. I thought that was all just going to be a bunch of lip service, a bunch of hoo-ha nonsense from YouTube. Like, oh, yeah, no, we're taking real action. We're very serious about this. No more ads for 12 hours. But no, it has been a decent chunk of time. I mean, like, relatively speaking. I don't remember how long Logan Paul was demonetized for after the Forest incident, but like it has been a lot longer than I thought they would do, and I really feel like it's not because they wanted to. They probably did fully plan on this being a very short punishment, like a very tiny slap on the wrist, but Sniper Wolf finds drama more often than bees find flowers to pollinate. Like, just like a fart in a car, she can't escape it. Like, she keeps falling into more and more controversy. So that brings us to the most recent thing that's happening right now, where she is being accused of basically stealing her whole format. So Nerd City made a video covering this and even interviewing the person that Sniper Wolf has been accused of copying from. Her name is Azzyland. I do think it's worth mentioning that Azzyland seems to want to just highlight Sniper Wolf's hypocrisy and history of being a hypocrite. less so accusing her of stealing her original works or anything. She's more so trying to focus on like how hypocritical it is that she would take some of the stances she does, even noticing all of what she's done, which gets brought up in the video, as well as a lot of other things that have surfaced from it. And this kind of blew up into a pretty big story because also prior to this, she was accused of faking her gameplay back when she was making gameplay videos, and that was a whole other huge pile of drama that I never even bothered to talk about because it was so many moving parts to it. I swear to God, to cover all the controversy she's been in would be a video longer than Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it'd be like a really complicated thing to even dive into the meat and potatoes of. You'd end up writing an entire book that's more difficult to decipher than the Silmarillion from Tolkien. Like, it is a lot. It's a ton. So I'm just going to focus on like the most recent ones here, but there is a whole history of it when it comes to like fake videos and videos that she's tried to bury in the past, which leads more people to believe, Azzyland here, that Sniper Wolf might have also just stolen from her too, because this wouldn't be the first time potentially. But anyway, let's get into it just a bit. Interestingly enough, and I hope you're sitting down, because if you're standing up, it's going to knock you over, she's already responded to these claims, which is like 10 times faster than she responded to the Jax Films doxing situation, which just gives you a little peek into her psyche and how twisted she views things and what her priorities are, where compromising an entire family's safety, nothing, shouldn't even really warrant an apology whatsoever. Big old nothing burger with a side of french fries. Call the wambulance, you little baby. What are you crying about, huh? Get over it. She even went on to make jokes about it, like on her Instagram story. Her sister came out and said, like, does he not know how to fight? Like, so clearly she didn't take that seriously at all. But this, being accused of copying TikTok reacts, oh, it's go time. Now she's on the front lines ready for war in the trenches. So she posted a response to it. She quote tweeted this Dexerto article that says, Sniper Wolf has been accused by fellow YouTuber Azzyland of copying her content, stealing her presenting style, inciting harassment from fans, and lying with fake evidence to cover her tracks. Just kind of going over the bare bones of what the accusations are, where they compare thumbnails, they compare the content itself, and even like some of the things they talk about during the reacts. And Sniper Wolf then says, I have a backup of videos and screenshots before she changed the thumbnails to make it look like I copied her. I have proof she copied my thumbnails, SEO, the way I speak, the jokes I make. The way you're trying to manipulate this is fraud. And you will be hearing from her lawyers, I'm sure. What an incredible case that would be. Oh, that would be a real page-turner to read that. To me, that sounds like a lawsuit that has all the makings of an iconic classic, like the Billy Mitchell lawsuit against Cartoon Network because an episode of the regular show made him look stupid. So I'm curious to see if she actually does try and go like a legal route here in this situation. She then continues saying, the fact that you can just go on a video and lie about everything is insane to me. And then she shows some side-by-side comparisons of their videos and thumbnails and titles to showcase the similarities and accuse her of actually being the nefarious villain that's copied Sniper Wolf. She drops some more evidence from the case files here, saying I have a screenshot of you uploading the same video as me minutes after I upload multiple on occasions. And then the example she gives is Sniper Wolf uploaded 22 minutes ago, creative people on another level, and Azzyland uploaded 12 minutes ago, so 10 minutes after that, with creative people who are on another level. A community note then came out of nowhere with a big steamin' revelation that said, this doesn't prove anything. The videos cited for evidence only have a similar title and don't contain the same thumbnail or clips, 1 and 2. Both Azzyland and Sniper Wolf have created videos with almost the same title before, showcasing that this isn't exactly the slam dunk she thinks it is. It doesn't even use the same clips, only the title is the same. And there's other examples of similar titles being shared between them. At the end of the day, it's TikTok Reacts. It's like the simplest thing ever. There's probably like 10 other YouTubers that have this exact same format and style that may have even preceded them. It's something that tons and tons of YouTubers will just shit out. But I'm not here to really dive into the quality of the content. It's more so the claim and all of the evidence presented for it. And based on everything in the Nerd City video, as well as a couple of other things that have been revealed, it really does seem like Sniper Wolf directly tried to copy from Azzyland in quite a few aspects, even outside of just like thumbnails and all of that. And at the very least, drew huge inspiration from it, if I'm going to be extremely charitable and generous. There are a ton of similarities, an outrageous amount for it to just be a coincidence, in my opinion. But I guess I can't say for certain who stole from who here, because again, the content is something that so many others on the platform are constantly pumping out. But again, the evidence that is available does seem to indicate Azzyland was the victim of Sniper Wolf stealing from her content, and then Sniper Wolf kind of started a lot of bad blood between them because of it. Like, it seems like there were cases of her instigating fights and like trying to weaponize her fans to like say, you know, Azzyland's a doppelganger that's stealing from me, this and that, copying my homework and whatever. Yeah, that's just kind of the whole situation boiled down into its bare bones here, the bare necessities. And some people are wondering if YouTube's going to step in again and punish her further. I highly doubt it. But like I mentioned earlier, I think this is a contributing factor for why she's staying demonetized, because she keeps getting into situations like this, and YouTube knows if they flip on the monetization now, there's going to be a ton of eyes on it, and it's going to cause them problems as well. So they keep just, you know, gripping on tight and waiting for things to blow over before they turn her monetization back on. That's my little game theory, but again, to address that question, I really don't think YouTube's going to do anything here. I don't really even know if there is like a violation of a policy YouTube has if you're taking like content ideas from others and doing it yourself. Like, maybe it could fall under spam content potentially, which is something YouTube does take stances against occasionally, but even then I highly doubt they would use that against Sniper Wolf. So I don't think there's going to be anything that comes from this on YouTube's side, but it's once again another huge hit to Sniper Wolf's already tarnished reputation, and the drama just keeps unfolding around her. So I've been asked constantly over the last 2 or 3 weeks why I haven't talked about the Pokimane drama online, and people are starting to get some fucking conspiracy theories cooked up about it. So I decided before these start spiraling out of control and I start being accused of working with Bill Gates to microchip the American people, I'd just come out here, drop my pants, and show you what I'm all about with this situation. So the reason I haven't talked about all the Pokimane drama is just because I found it really boring. I found it all very uninteresting. The fucked up things she did with the sponsors and a couple of the other things she had already addressed in the past and made apologies for and hasn't done it since. It was really just all old news. The only other thing that was being talked about was Pokimane potentially having a boyfriend, which could have been an exciting bombshell to drop if there was any level of proof to it. It was just this fleeting wet queef of a statement, just totally blank. It's like that cancel culture shit or Facebook fucking posts about why coronavirus isn't real. Just something said with nothing to back it up. But Leafy fans insisted that tier 3 subs were having this kind of fucking biblical meltdown on Twitter, and I was like, well, that sounds exciting. Let me go ahead and check that out. That at least sounds entertaining. But I couldn't find shit. It just didn't happen. I even went full on fucking CSI detective and looked at tier 3 subs to Pokimane, found their Twitter and wanted to see what they were saying about it, and none of them gave a shit. They just didn't fucking care. I couldn't find any actual meltdowns at all. All I found were Leafy fans talking about these meltdowns and just screaming the word simp, just shouting it at nothing and no one into the void. I mean, and the word simp has just been beat to death by children. Kids use that word until it was fucking run dry. Everyone and everything is a simp. If a waiter serves a woman at a restaurant, he's a fucking simp to these kids. If a woman drinks from a water fountain, the water fountain is a simp. It's just fucking overused to all hell and back, which is a shame because it was kind of enjoyable when the meme was alive and well. But I'm getting off topic. The point is, I couldn't find any of these meltdowns, and that's what would have at least made it somewhat enjoyable. But as far as I can see, all of that was just made up. Now, I also get asked what's my opinion on Leafy milking the whole thing, because he's made 9 videos about it. Well, I don't really care. I don't give much of a shit about that. I will say, though, if you take just the thumbnails and the video titles from all 9 of the videos Leafy made about Pokimane, it looks like something straight out of an incel school shooter's manifesto. But I don't really give a fuck that he's made 9 videos about it. He's not a fucking idiot. He understands that his audience leans more on the younger teen side of things, and what do young teenagers like? To be mad. And Leafy gives them targets and makes it fun for them to be mad at people. It's not the worst thing in the world, and he's very open with his audience about it. He says right to their fucking snot-nosed faces, look, I am milking this for views. He's said that in at least 3 of the videos I've watched about it. So he's very upfront about it, and I don't think there's really anything wrong with that grind that he's going for. You think Leafy actually gives a fuck about the Pokimane situation? Not at all. He's very upfront about why he's even making the content in the first place. He's very open with his audience about it, and most of the content isn't even really focused on Pokimane anymore. It's mainly just using her for clickbait so he could talk about whatever he wants to talk about. And I totally understand that, because a lot of the shit I make is just talking about things I want to talk about. So I don't really have anything against him for the Pokimane milking situation. Now, I do think spending 5 minutes dedicated to just calling Pokimane ugly is some garbage, just shitting on her appearance for a while. That's just some low shit, treating it like an Xbox Live lobby or just some bad high school gossip. And I don't like the kids pretending that calling someone ugly is somehow valid criticism or even criticism in the slightest. It's just being a douchebag. And I've totally insulted people's appearances before, absolutely. I've taken fat shits on how some people look. But when I'm doing that, they're usually pedophiles or actual evil people in the world that have done really fucked up things. It's not just a streamer who makes streams I don't like. It's usually people that I think deserve insults to their appearance and much worse. Now, what really made me want to talk about this whole Pokimane situation is the fact that she uploaded an apology video today, and I can promise you no one's happier about that apology video than Leafy, because now he can make another 9 videos out of the situation and sell some more merch. And again, like I said, I have nothing but respect for that grind, so I mean, good for him, he's got more content now. But the fact Pokimane made this video makes no sense to me. This is just not a good idea. It's the internet. If you're in a situation, some drama, if you apologize, you're fucked. If you don't apologize, you're fucked. Kids are never satisfied. They just want to stay mad. So no matter what you do, it's going to be fuel for them to stay mad at you, no matter what. It's the most basic lesson on the internet. The majority of the stuff in the video she's already addressed and apologized for in the past. It just makes no sense to do it again. It's just redundant. But now she has to do it in front of the whole classroom or something, or at least that's what she thought she needed to do. I think she had the right approach the first time where she tweeted, "No more Mr. Nice Pokimane," or something to that effect, insinuating that she's coming out raw and no rubber. She's going brute force and just going to be really fucking brutal about things. That, I think, was the right approach to the situation, not just folding and rolling over in this apology. It just really doesn't make any sense, and you can see it in the dislikes on the video. People are still mad just to stay mad about things. And if you read the comments, none of them even watch the video. Every single comment just either screams simp or she has to apologize for having a boyfriend lol. When the video, she doesn't even talk about that. All she mentions with the boyfriend thing is that she keeps her personal life off the internet, which is totally respectable and the sane thing to do. Having your relationship and personal life online is a fucking disaster, because people live through internet creators. People spend their entire lives being a professional fan and obsessed loser over internet content creators. So keeping your personal life away from that toxic shit is the right move. But no one even watched the fucking video. They just disliked it immediately, assuming it's about the boyfriend thing. The video doesn't even need to be made, because everything that she actually did make mistakes on, she has already owned up to in the past. It's just a video that doesn't really serve much of a purpose other than to, again, remind people that she is sorry. But it's not like a content creator needs to be held to some godlike status where they need to apologize profusely every single fucking day and grovel at the feet of the internet mob, kissing it and apologizing daily. It's not that big of a fucking deal. She apologized for the mistakes multiple times and now does it again. But it's never going to be enough. It's just no point in making this apology video. Just move on from it is the best approach. It's the fucking internet. People forget in a matter of hours. People can't even remember what they read 30 minutes ago on the internet because they're consuming so much shit and being mad so long that they forget half of the shit they're even looking at. So yeah, I just don't really like to see people bend over for the internet mob, and I just didn't think there was any reason to make an apology video on it in the first place. Unless she feels just super remorseful for the mistakes, then that's something totally different. But I think this is just because she was tired of all the drama and thought apologizing again might help. And maybe it will. Who knows? But yeah, anyway, I think the commentary community owes Leafy a huge thank you for the last month of content they were able to squeak out. I mean, these commentary channels were making like 5 videos on the whole Pokimane situation, parroting Leafy's videos. Every time he'd make one, they'd make one. So Leafy was able to spread out a lot of views by starting all of this, so it was a great thing for a lot of commentary channels. Congrats to all of them. Just overall, I found the whole drama arc to just be extremely boring as a spectator sport. Also, one more thing that came as a result of all of this, the whole React content debate. Now, I do a lot of reaction shit, but I'm never just silently watching a video with my thumb up my ass. I'm constantly making jokes about the content we're watching and joking with the chat about it. I like to treat it like a bunch of friends getting together to make fun of The Room. Now, I don't think by default watching content on Twitch is transformative. I think there needs to be a level of effort put into it to make jokes about it, pause it to talk about it, or just generally do something more than just sit there silently and watch it. I just don't think eating during an entire video and not contributing to a conversation about the video or joking about the video is transformative. But it's also not the worst thing in the world, because there are people that just want to sit back and watch a video they wouldn't have watched otherwise with somebody that they like to watch on stream. The problem arises for me is when it gets taken and re-uploaded on YouTube. There's a couple of streamers that do react content where they'll upload the reaction, but the reaction is just them sitting there with the video playing. So it's basically just re-uploading the fucking video that they were watching, where they don't talk about it, they don't really add anything to it, and it's just the video playing with their face there. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people think of when they hear react content on Twitch. It's also very easy to make it seem like people that watch content on Twitch don't react to it or joke about it by just taking some clips out of context and saying, look at this, they're not even saying anything, they're just stealing content from YouTube for their own personal gain. But I don't think that's the case for the majority of people that watch or react to content on Twitch. And when I upload highlights reacting to content, it's only the bits and pieces where I'm making jokes about the content. And it very rarely runs more than 10 seconds without me making some kind of fucking joke about whatever's going on, or the chat and I joking about something going on. So as far as react debate goes, I definitely think there is a level of effort that needs to be put into watching content to make it transformative, as opposed to just playing it and sitting there. So yeah, I think that pretty much sums up everything that has come out of the Pokimane situation and my thoughts on all of it. So hopefully I can stop getting asked so many times what the fuck I think about the whole thing, because again, I just really didn't find this whole drama arc here. Crypto scam! Did I scare you? I should have. Hopefully put the fear of God deep in your soul for that. Crypto scams are the main jump scare that people are falling for time and time again. It's more contagious than the cold at this point. It is happening every other week on the largest possible scale. So, I'm sure I don't need to tell you what that is at this point. The word crypto has now just become synonymous with rug pull in the eyes of most people, because you keep getting had. You're getting played like a fiddle time and time again with these meme coins that keep popping up. I just don't know how it keeps happening. Now, admittedly, I do get it in this case. What we're talking about today is one of the biggest rug pulls in history. The president of Argentina, Javier Milei, well, he endorsed a meme coin called Libra, and within hours of his endorsement, he deleted his tweet supporting it, and the coin completely crashed. And now over $100 million has mysteriously vanished. A song and dance we've heard time and time again. Crypto has become synonymous with scam in the eyes of many people, because this keeps happening over and over and over again. It's a story more iconic than Dracula. This is a story told more frequently than The Little Engine That Could. And I just want to go over it a little bit. I'm not going to pretend to be super knowledgeable on Argentina and everything going on over there, but what I am knowledgeable on are these fucking crypto scams, because they keep happening in almost the exact same ways every single time. And for some reason, in the crypto space exclusively, people have this mentality that it's gambling. It's not. Buster, let me sit you down. I'm going to have an intervention. I'm going to get the fucking paddle out here and try and beat some sense into you. You're not gambling when it comes to something like this. Gambling implies there's a chance of winning. And when it comes to gambling, you're usually going up against the house. Well, when it comes to these shit coins, you're not just going up against the house. You're going up against the house and all of its friends. You will never be faster than the insiders or the snipers. You are the piggy bank they are taking from. You are the reason they make so much money. You will never be the one to capitalize off it. I'm just going to hit you with the cold water. There's some fringe cases where just some average Joe Schmo does get lucky with, that happens. I get it. It will most likely never happen to you. But for some reason, no matter how many times Bikini Bottom beats your ass, it's a lesson that never gets through to you. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? It doesn't compute. It never dawns on the victims of these rug pulls. You know that expression, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me? Fool me 3 times, won't get fooled again? Well, in crypto, it's a little different. It's fool me once, I got unlucky. Fool me twice, got unlucky again. Fool me 3 times, I got unlucky. Fool me 4 times, can't believe I got unlucky again. Fool me 5 times, I'm out of money, but when I get more, I'm going to put into some more meme coins. They just keep coming back for more. Getting scammed time and time again, thinking that this next one is the one. this is the golden goose. It's not. Like, this is not your Moby Dick. You're never going to actually accomplish this. But I'm already way off track just going over this shit again. What happened in Argentina, the president endorsed this meme coin. It crashed. Completely collapsed. He is now facing impeachment for this. It is just a full-blown scam. It's unknown exactly how much he knew about this project before publicly endorsing it, but he bears so much responsibility because without him putting it on the map, tons of people wouldn't have lost tons of money. He is directly to blame for scamming the citizens of his country. Full stop. That's an immutable fact. That's the brass tacks of it. Again, it's unclear exactly how much he knew about this project before the endorsement, but it is his fault so many people bought into the scam. Let's just go ahead and take a look at this tweet. To astute observers, you'll notice that this is the same smell, the same aroma of bullshit that you get for all of these god-awful meme coins, but to people that don't know the space and all the evils that come with it from time to time, well, from time to time, that's very generous, that come with it so often, they wouldn't know any better because you have your president who is now just publicly glazing this project. Liberal Argentina grows. This private project will be dedicated to encouraging the growth of Argentine economy by funding small Argentinian businesses and startups the world wants to invest in Argentina. Then he links it. Then he drops the contract. Libra, long live freedom, damn it! Amen. May that freedom live long. And by long, we're speaking relatively. From the eyes of a mosquito, that's the perspective we're dealing with here. Because it wasn't very long, all things considered. The coin was only alive a little bit longer than ejaculate outside the human body. Your sperm can survive 30 to 45 minutes, even an hour at optimal conditions. And this coin, Libra, barely beat that. It made it 3 hours before it completely crashed with over 100 million just being wiped out of it, going somewhere interesting. And where did it go? Who's to say for sure? However, CoffeeZilla just conducted an interview with a key player, Hayden Davis. I cannot recommend this interview enough. Hayden did not call Saul before agreeing to this interview. The admissions here are shocking. There was definitely no lawyer in his ear. He did not get a legal professional on the horn before agreeing to this. I highly recommend you listen to this interview because it is baffling. Hayden is more unlikable than an ingrown toenail. I'm not going to play you a ton of clips. I really encourage you to watch CoffeeZilla's interview. He did a great job with it. And I love that. I don't know what CoffeeZilla did to get him to just squeal like this. Maybe he injected him with like some kind of truth serum via Discord. But Hayden just admits to so many fucking things that I don't think he recognizes the severity of. I am going to leave you with just one little clip from it where he talks about insiders.
It's a separate conversation. Retail traders.
Unbelievably shitty. I do think that's unbelievably bad, and for everyone, except for the insiders, which is what I always say about meme coins, is it disproportionately benefits insiders.
So I think too, like my honest opinion is like I don't actually disagree, but I think like the vast majority of people betting on meme coins, right, especially at the beginning, and I think there's a separate conversation. Retail traders, like that is the game for everyone. And people that get mad are the people that aren't insiders. That is what happens. That's all the bitching on socials is all the people that don't get into the deals. You'll never hear them bitch if they're in the deal. So it's like, what do you do then? You don't do anything. You don't launch the project. You're like, how do you make money then?
Yeah, goofball, you don't launch the project. It's a fucking meme coin that was designed to just exploit people that aren't your insiders, that aren't in on the deal, which is the vast majority of fucking people, you unbelievable stupid buffoon. Yes, Hayden, you don't launch the project. Because there is no project. This was just a scam. Like, he openly admits to all of the insider accusations. Like, everything that they'd been accused of, Hayden just, like, openly confirms. He even talks about the $100 million. It's a fascinating look at the mind of a scammer. Like, a degenerate scammer. I'm going to drop one more clip here from the interview, just to really sell you on how juicy this is. You need to watch this. This absolute fucking stinky, putrid vermin confirms that he sniped his own coin. And here's what he had to say about it.
The wallet which Dave got refunded by, which is, according to him, your personal funds, was linked to an Avalanche wallet, which was funded like a sniper of Libra. So, but if you launch the coin, isn't it unfair for you to snipe the coin?
So I would say no, and I would say that for a couple different reasons. Number one, a lot of the times when, and again, this is like, I mean, again, it's a much larger conversation, which is what I told you in text. But most of the time when I have different money in different places, obviously. But from the standpoint of sniping, most of the time when we're sniping, we're attempting to avoid other snipers getting in.
My God, he deserves the Medal of Honor and the Purple Heart. Holy shit, even give him the Spelling Bee Championship. This guy is a saint. You see, when they're sniping their own coin, they're doing it from a place of nobility. Like, they're doing it from a place of looking out for the little guy. They're trying to help the rest of us by being so generous to snipe their own coin for their own financial gain. Man, this is eye-opening stuff, Hayden. It really is. It's so interesting. So definitely watch CoffeeZilla's video on it. I don't understand how he is not just immediately thrown in the slammer within minutes of him doing this interview and having it go live. It's crazy to me. That's the beauty of the crypto space, baby. That's the fairy tale magic right there. Long live the freedom to fuck you in the butt and face no repercussions for it. This has been happening time and time again, only accelerating in frequency recently with things like Pump.Fun and then tons of celebrities coming out with their own meme coins that are all rugging. Like, it's just so fucking crazy. And I am 100% sure it will continue to happen because people still think that they're going to be the chosen one. They're going to be Goku here and they're going to have the Super Saiyan wherewithal to pull out at the perfect time. You won't, because you're not an insider. No matter how much you convince yourself you are not an insider on deals like this. Like, Dave Portnoy got insider information on this. He didn't buy, like, before it went live, at least not from what I've seen, though I did see him go on Twitter saying he bought fake Libra, and now he's trying to sell fake Libra. Like, I don't fucking understand at all what's going on there. But you're not Dave Portnoy. You're just a guy. And you saw the president of Argentina make the tweet. Just because it comes from the president doesn't mean he's not going to fuck your face. Like, it's crypto. It's all fair game because there are no consequences for rugging like this. You don't see anyone get in trouble for it, and people have picked up on it, which is why so many celebrities, Hawk to a girl even, fucking Z-list celebrities are doing it now. So yeah, it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening until people finally learn that they are never going to make money by being someone that just puts into this, thinking that they're smarter than the other sheep. They're going to be the ones that are going to be the beneficiary of the rug. You won't be, because you are not the insider. You are not the sniper. You're not in the deal, like Hayden says. It's just so silly, and it's sad. It's fucking sad, especially in a case like this, where I think this is one of those cases where a lot of people who lost money aren't your normal stupid crypto bros that are just YOLOing all of their cash, hoping for moonshots. I really think there's a lot of people that believed so strongly in the president that they saw this enthusiasm for this project, all this glaze, and thought, okay, I'm in. Only to get absolutely ruined. Did I jump scare you? Yeah, I bet I did. You coward. You make me sick. Your weakness is pathetic. But now that I got your heart pumping a little bit, I want to talk to you about an absolutely wacky lawsuit that I read about today. Elon Musk is being sued for $258 billion because of Dogecoin. This is the story of how one angry Dogecoin enjoyer named Keith teamed up with Saul Goodman to try and win more money than some country's entire GDP, all from a shitcoin. Now, not much is known about Keith other than he invested in Dogecoin in 2019, thanks almost entirely due to Elon Musk's tweets about it, promoting it. He was under the impression it was a legitimate investment and a good idea. And fast forward to today, where Dogecoin has eaten more ass than pinworms, and he's a little upset. He claims he has been defrauded by Musk, and it was actually all part of a pyramid scheme. Keith was feeling awfully gluttonous and is suing for $86 billion in damages, as well as triple damages of $172 billion. He's suing Elon Musk, SpaceX, and Tesla. He's aiming to score a hat trick here. He's arguing that Musk and his companies falsely and deceptively claim that Dogecoin is a legitimate investment when it has no value at all. Man, who could have seen that coming? What a surprise. Dogecoin actually doesn't have value? It was started as a joke in 2013. It was a meme coin. And you know what they say? Live by the shit coin, die in shit. This was always going to happen. This was always the predetermined fate for every Dogecoin enthusiast. Unless you were a galaxy brain gigachad like me, who put a little bit of money into Dogecoin right when the hype train really started just because of pure FOMO. I put in it like 20 cents and just turned my brain off and dumped into like a lot of other shit coins as well. But Dogecoin I got in on like 20 cents and then I sold it hours before Elon Musk was going to appear on SNL because I knew nothing good ever comes from SNL. So I sold it at like 66 cents and made out like a goddamn king. I turned like $100 into like 300 or 400 or something because I fucking predicted it. I knew if Elon Musk was going on SNL to mention Dogecoin, it was going to kill it on the spot, and it did. It's never recovered. I fucking calculated it. But for that one good decision, I also made 1,000 bad ones. I put money into like 20,000 other rug pulls as well, but god damn it, this is the one that mattered the most. I will say this though, I do feel bad for people like Keith who had no idea what crypto was and only learned about it from Elon Musk. For some reason, Elon still has like a following that worships him as a god and will take everything he says at face value and just go hog wild with it. Keith was no exception, and he lost a lot of money from it allegedly and is now aiming to try and at least fight for it back. And then some. I don't know if Keith necessarily lost 270 or 58 billion, but god damn it, he's coming for scalps right now, I suppose. It continues saying that Keith wants to represent a class of people who had lost money trading in Dogecoin since April 2019, asking for 86 billion plus the 172, as well as an order blocking Musk and the companies from promoting Dogecoin and declaring that Dogecoin trading constitutes gambling under US and New York law. Well, good news for Keith, Elon Musk and his companies haven't mentioned Dogecoin in like a year. That name has become like Voldemort now. They don't touch it. I can't even remember the last time I saw him say that. So that one's already good without a court order. They've completely stopped because they've had their fun memeing around at the expense of people like Keith who lost a ton of money on it. Any money lost on Dogecoin to Elon Musk is negligible. But to an average octogenarian that only learns about it through Elon convincing them that it's a good idea, the money they lose, that means a lot. That's a huge difference maker in their lives. And I also don't think Elon Musk lost money on Dogecoin either. I wouldn't be surprised if he never put money into it in the first place and was only joking from the get-go, just to fuck with people and just to fuck with the entire market of it. But regardless, a lot of people did legitimately lose tons and tons of money on it, like Keith. And then he wants it to be like constituted as gambling. Which it is. I mean, all crypto is gambling, 100%. I don't care how much copium you're boofing, there is no crypto that isn't just straight gambling. Take, for example, Luna, which was like the 4th most traded crypto for like the last year, and then over the course of a week, it went from $100 per token to less than like 1/1,000,000th of a penny. It died in a week. It just completely spiraled and died. It was a stable coin and died in a week from 100 to 0, well, way below 0. So yeah, I think every sane person would agree with Keith here. If you're putting money into crypto, you're gambling with it. And I pray that Keith never finds games like Diablo Immortal after reading this. I'm no lawyer, and from what I've read, Keith actually does have a legal team behind this, but to me this sounds like an unwinnable case. It feels like something that they're trying to drum up as much headline and hype for as possible, to get people to rally behind them like other Dogecoin enthusiasts that lost tons of money on it. I don't call them Dogecoin investors because they've just been deluded into thinking it was an investment. They've been scammed, basically. If you put money into Dogecoin, you fell for the scam. So I don't really call it Dogecoin investors, hobbyists perhaps. So I think the whole goal here with Keith and his team is to get this lawsuit out there so a lot of media picks it up, which they have. And a lot of people come forward like, yeah, I also got fucked by Elon Musk here promoting it and this and that. And then hopefully the public pressure will mount to a point where the Elon Musk and the companies will settle with Keith outside of court for whatever undisclosed amount. I don't think there's any law firm or any human being on the planet that actually thinks Keith is going to win $258 billion here. And I don't think they're trying to win $258 billion here. They're trying to get some kind of settlement out of court with the pressure that the public can mount. That's my uneducated guess for my little reptile brain. That's what makes sense to me. This is truly a David versus Goliath situation here for $258 billion with just, fucking Keith over here versus the wealthiest man in the world. It seems like it's unwinnable. But if he has a team behind it, then they must have some kind of strategy, because there's no self-respecting lawyer or law firm that's going to represent a case like this without some kind of plan. And I don't think there's any way they beat Elon Musk with this $258 billion. But who knows? Again, I'm not a lawyer. I haven't passed the bar. Maybe this somehow makes it all the way to court and Keith shows up with the goddamn Avengers of lawyers and they lay a biblical smackdown on Elon Musk and his team. Just fucking Hulkmania goes wild and Keith somehow wins and becomes instantly overnight the wealthiest person in the world. I don't think we're living in that fantasy, but hey, again, I guess it could be possible. No, I'm just kidding. I really don't think it's possible in any dimension in the multiverse. But I guess I could be wrong. Who knows? Anyway, one other thing I'd like to mention. I've seen this story float around a little bit on Twitter, and people get mad at Keith, just calling him like an idiot. It's your fault. You did this. I can't believe he's even bothering to sue Elon Musk. And to a certain extent, I agree. It is entirely Keith's fault that he put money into this without doing even the bare minimum amount of research on what he was putting money into and just taking shitpost tweets as fact. One of the things I saw pop up in one of the articles talking about this is Keith used a couple of Elon Musk tweets as an example for him deceptively promoting Dogecoin as legitimate. And one of them was, Tesla's going to put a literal, or SpaceX is literally going to put a literal Dogecoin on the moon. And like, you have to be stupid to read that tweet and be like, oh my god, they're actually going to do that? Quick! Sell this! Sell my car! I'm putting it into Dogecoin. Honey, what do you mean you're leaving? Like, yes, there's a lot of self-responsibility there. It is, at the end of the day, Keith's fault that he put into it. But I really cannot help but feel bad for people like Keith who trusted someone they looked up to lead them in the right direction to financial security. Yes, it is Keith's fault, but I can't help but feel bad for him and people like him that bought into it. And yes, this lawsuit is comical. Going for $258 billion out of falling for a shitcoin meme, it's a silly lawsuit. But I, again, just can't help but feel sorry for him, because I'm assuming he lost a lot of money, like a meaningful amount of money in his life, and is just desperately doing anything he... I was going to make this video yesterday, but I was still so shaken up and just ruined from the betrayal from Belle Delphine that I just couldn't. But today I have the strength, and I think I'm ready to talk about this here at this Alcoholics Anonymous meeting for e-girl addicts. And I really would like to get this out there, a topic that I think needs to be discussed. Many of you know who Belle Delphine is. I probably don't have to explain it to you. In fact, most of you have probably already jerked off to her, so you don't need me to give her like a WWE introduction or anything like that. She's a huge Instagram model. She does a lot of Patreon stuff as well, lewd photos, stuff like that. Now, she's always been, in my opinion, very smart with the things she does. My genuine opinion of her is she's smart. I have nothing but respect for that. If I could do that, I absolutely would. You bet your ass, if I was good looking enough to be spreading my butthole on Instagram for Patreon tiers and shit, you would be seeing me goat seeing at least once a week. But I don't have that capability. She does, and she does well with what she does. And I have nothing but respect in that department. However, she pushed it too far recently. She betrayed gamers, and not just gamers, she betrayed humanity as a whole. She made this post on Instagram, if this post gets 1 million likes, she'd make a Pornhub account. That was the deal. That was what we signed up for, gamers. And you know what happened? It got 1 million likes in fucking 5 minutes. It sold out faster than a Foo Fighters concert or a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert at a geriatrics ward. And yet, we didn't get a Pornhub account. Not immediately, at least. It came a couple days later. And you know what happens when it finally came? When Christmas rolled around and it was time for Belle Delphine to reveal the Pornhub account with videos on it, you know what came? Videos with no fucking porn. No nudity. Nothing. They were meme videos where she eats pictures of PewDiePie with titles that say, "Love getting cream pied," where she puts cream on a piece of the tray and slams her face with it. I don't jerk off to that most times. I don't think most of you do most times. And it just genuine betrayal. The internet was outraged. During my Twitch streams at twitch.tv, I had to console many people's angry boners, or rather, lack of boner, due to the whole Belle Delphine betrayal. And I think she just went too far with this clickbait, this scam, this goddamn felony. I don't know how else to put it. All joking and sarcasm aside, what the fuck did you expect? This happens a lot when someone reaches a level of prominence on the internet. They usually double down really hard and make a promise like, hey, I'll do this thing if it gets this much attention. And when the goal is met and it's finally time to deliver, it's either always a disappointment or it just doesn't get delivered as advertised, in this case here. It's very misleading and it's just a good way of gaming some attention. And I really don't know why people keep falling for it. I said during a stream when someone brought it up, did you like her picture to get a Pornhub account? Please, Charlie, do your part for humanity. And then fucking saluting me, here's a link. I told them she'd probably not do like actual porn, like penetrative porn or even nudity, because that would kind of ruin her brand. Right now, she doesn't do nudity stuff, not even for the highest tier of Patreon member, not even for a platinum-starred, gold card-wearing, fucking soiled panties-sniffing Patreon member of hers. She doesn't do nude shit, at least not that's been disclosed on the internet. So why would she, for free, make a Pornhub account with nudity and full-on porn just because one of her pictures got 1 million likes? It was just a way of getting some more attention out there, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I don't know why people keep falling for it, and I think it is a bit fucked up to be that misleading about it. I don't really like that, and a lot of people do that. It's not just her. Another good example was there was a YouTuber named Zoe Berger. She promised like the exact same thing, porn for 1 million subscribers or something. Fucking 3 seconds roll by, 1 million subscribers come. But then that's the only thing coming because the porn certainly did not. She wasn't getting butt fucked on camera or anything like that, nor was she playing with an Hitachi wand or anything like that. It's just a way of getting a quick burst of attention, and I think it is unethical and misleading. I don't really like that. So I really want this to serve as a lesson to a lot of you horny men watching this that hit like on that and then fucking made a countdown website for the moment she released her Pornhub account. I need you to take a moment and realize how silly it was. You need to stop thinking with your penis and start thinking with logic. It would make no sense for her to do that, to actually just start doing porn for free when she's doing a lot better financially just doing teasing pictures on Instagram and whatever she's posting on Patreon where she's playing with an octopus or something. It's just you really need to stop falling for these things because you just end up getting hurt and then getting outraged when really it's kind of just your own fault for really being that gullible. On the internet, things are taken at face value. I get that fake news and all that shit spreads like wildfire. I understand that. But in a situation like this where we've seen it happen 1 million times, why not think a little bit more critically about it and really go through this scenario thoroughly in your head before you start getting your hopes up and getting let down and then getting extremely outraged both at her and then at other people. Fucking coming into my stream mad because you couldn't get a boner to her Pornhub memes. That's not my fucking fault. Don't take it out on me. It's just, think more through these things. And again, I have no issue with Belle Delphine. I respect what she does. And she also seems like she can take a joke. So that's very rare in a position like that and just on the internet in general. So fuck yeah, good work there. Don't mislead your horny fans though. I think that's pretty. When it comes to making predictions, I'm wrong more often than a March Madness bracket. If I was a meteorologist, they would have me publicly executed at the town square while people throw tomatoes at me because I would legitimately never predict the weather correctly. And I almost think that that's more impressive, the fact that I can't even accidentally get a prediction right. But that doesn't mean that I don't like to keep trying, so that's what I'm doing today. I may be 0 for 100 on predictions, but we're about to change that. The curse will be lifted. Statistically, you gotta get one right eventually, and this is my one. I know for a fact Elon Musk will never fight Mark Zuckerberg in a real fight. Now, maybe they get together in the octagon and play a game of patty cake or a little slap boxing with headgear like it's straight out of SpongeBob karate episode or something, but they will never actually have a fight. For those that don't know, for the last couple months, Elon Musk and Zuckerberg has been posturing that they're going to fight each other, like in a legitimate fight. But I just don't think that's going to happen. I think this is all just publicity and attention because Elon Musk loves attention. He feeds on that more than a plant feeds on sunlight. Elon Musk photosynthesizes attention the same way plants do. It's how he lives. So I think that's the actual motivation here, is just to keep his name in people's mouths. because there is no way he has ever thrown a punch in his life. His body is built like a tub of mayonnaise. It looks like he's smuggling 6 bowling balls in his torso. I don't think his confusing body geometry would even allow for him to throw a punch. It'd be like trying to stretch a wet spaghetti noodle. There's no way he's ever trained, nor ever even thrown a punch at a punching bag, I don't think. So this would just be a ridiculous fight to take because Mark Zuckerberg, the fucking goofy soulless android straight out of Skynet, actively trains in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and actually just won a gold and silver medal in a Jiu-Jitsu tournament a month ago. Which initially that headline didn't impress me because I just assumed Zuckerbot went in there, opened his wallet and paid everyone to just throw against him so he could feel good about himself. But there's footage of the event and he is pretty solid. He is actually pretty talented. It's clear he takes it seriously. He's also just been training with experts as well to become better at it. So this is something that he's serious about. Meanwhile, the only thing Elon Musk is serious about is shit tier memes. Like the crustiest, dankest memes ever that no one can even ironically laugh at. If this was a fighting game, Elon Musk would be in the unusable below F tier ranking. Meanwhile, Zuckerberg would be like C tier. So there's just no chance. Like, there's literally no chance Elon Musk would win this fight, and he knows it. Mark Zuckerberg would smoke his meat. Mark Zuckerberg would rip his fucking tongue out and lick his ass with it. Like, Elon Musk would truly get brutalized, I think. Even though Elon Musk definitely has some size on him, it doesn't matter, because there's no way Elon Musk can use his size unless he tries to do some kind of weird forbidden jutsu where he like oils himself up to get real slippery and like slides around and attacks him like that. Like, I don't know what else he could possibly do because he doesn't train. He hasn't trained and he won't train. So he's already planted the seeds of doubt. He made a tweet not too long ago talking about how he might need back surgery. So he's already like alluding to some excuses he could use to get out of this fight to weasel his way out. So I just don't see this fight happening. I really don't see this fight happening at all. But it hasn't stopped the hype train. Elon Musk keeps talking about how it's definitely going to happen, and he even makes like these bold claims about where it's happening and when. Meanwhile, Zuck on Threads, and also, God rest the soul of Threads, that didn't make it more than a month before it died. What a tragically fast demise that platform had. I don't know anyone that still uses Threads except for Zuck now. That's just like his quarantine zone, his containment unit. He just goes in there and speaks, and that's the only thing left on Threads. But anyway, Zuck made this post in response to all of the posts Elon had made about how the fight's, coming up pretty soon. Zuck said, "I love this sport and I've been ready to fight since the day Elon challenged me. If he ever agrees on an actual date, you'll hear it from me. Until then, please assume anything he says has not been agreed on." Which I 100% believe Mark Zuckerberg here, because Elon Musk does nothing but make false promises and just make shit up. Like, the way Elon Musk talks about it, you'd think the fight's happening this weekend. But meanwhile, there's not a single date that's been agreed upon or anything like that. So, there's nothing confirmed here. It is still just a bunch of brouhaha, but I don't think it's ever happening. But it doesn't stop Elon Musk from puffing out his grotesque chest. He keeps making statements like this. So this was in response to Mark Zuckerberg saying, just take everything he says with a grain of salt, but I'm ready to fight whenever. Elon Musk said, "If Zuck wants my tongue," I guess. I don't really know what this emoji's supposed to mean. Now it just seems like he's more flirting than anything. So I'm having a hard time deducing these hieroglyphics here. I don't know why he's using that emoji in this fight context, but whatever. If Zuck wants my tongue, really wants a lesson in why there are weight categories in fighting so badly, I could just head over to his house next week and teach him a lesson he won't soon forget. Elon is legitimately a 14-year-old on Xbox Live trapped in the body of a 50-year-old grown man. It is incredible. Like, this is actual old Call of Duty lobby energy here. Elon would never actually fight Zuckerberg. That's what I truly believe. If he did, that would not go well, I imagine. I really do think Mark Zuckerberg would fuck him up. I really think Zuckerberg's got psychopath energy. That man's probably got so much pent-up rage from the colossal historic failure of the metaverse that this man is just looking for an excuse. And Elon Musk might be that excuse. I think he would just absolutely destroy in this billionaire beatdown against Musk. But once again, I don't think we'll ever know for sure, because it's not going to happen. That is my prediction. I wanted to put it out here because sometimes I like to get my predictions out, and so far every single time they've been wrong. Many of you may remember I made a video talking about Halo Infinite not being real. I made that video like 4 years ago or something when they first showed like the early trailer, then a year went by and they didn't show anything else, and then like a couple, like 6 months went by and they showed like actual pre-alpha level footage, and I proclaimed that the game is probably not real and even close to being released. But then it came out like a year and a half later. So it looked like they did have it cooking in the oven. And unfortunately, you know how the story goes, they served it raw. It was missing like half of the game's overall content it was supposed to have, and then it remained in a completely barren wasteland of a state where they weren't adding or changing anything about it, and then they eventually just canceled a lot of the components. And well, it's actually a very sad story, the post-release of Halo Infinite. Good news though on that front, they're getting it together. Halo Infinite's made quite a few new updates that are actually pretty well received. I haven't personally tried them myself, but they do seem like quality updates. They finally got Forge in the game, you know, like 2 years late, but they got it. Like, baby steps, damn it. They finally started adding some shit to the game, finally starting to turn it around. Maybe too little too late, but the point is, I'm way off topic now. Point is, they did at least start making improvements there. But I did make the prediction that it wasn't even real, which I was wrong about, and that to tie it all back to what I was saying. Point is, I'm bad at predictions. I usually get them wrong. This one I am very, very confident on. I don't think there is a world where Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk have a legitimate fight against each other. I do think there is a chance that they'll have some kind of really embarrassing, silly show match where it's clear that it's not a real fight, it's just some kind of scripted mess, or some kind of very haphazardly thrown together disaster where neither person is really fighting. It's just like they're toying with each other and pretending it's a fight. Like, I'm talking CW level choreography of a fight. Like, I don't think they'll ever have a real one, but I do think there's a chance they'll have a fake fight against each other, just to try. Disney, it's in the game, and that game is fucking beloved properties from the past with bad live-action remakes. The latest victim is Aladdin, but the upcoming victim who's going to be in the next obituary from Disney's unstoppable rampage through awful, awful remakes, Kim Possible. The new Kim Possible live action drops in 3 days, so I'm excited for that fucking disaster to unfold. But anyway, let's talk about Aladdin, because that special sneak preview Turbo Arcade XL trailer just dropped yesterday, and it was bad. Everyone's upset. It was an objectively bad trailer, if you can even call it that, and I hate that these even exist, where it's like 24 seconds from the movie, like 3 fucking lines, and that's it. Pixar's doing with Toy Story. Why do I want to see these characters just dance around for literally 3 seconds of screen time? It's useless. Just wait for an actual trailer to be ready. I can't stand that shit. I don't need little foreplay to let me know the movie's coming. You can just tell me it's coming, and I'll wait for a real trailer. I don't give a shit to watch Key and Peele talk about To Infinity and Beyond, and it's just useless. I hate that shit. It's so fucking pointless. I don't think anyone sits there and watches one of those and just fucking hair blows back, they shit their pants like, oh wow, did you guys see this? I can't believe they're making this, even though we already knew they were making this, but this just sold me on it, this 3-second snippet. I really just don't get it. You can just tell us that it's on its way, and not show us the characters blowing wet farts in each other's faces for 4 seconds. We don't need it, just give us an actual trailer. Regardless, the Aladdin one dropped yesterday, and it's objectively bad. It's horrible across the board. But what everyone's talking about and what I want to focus on is the genie, who's played by popular YouTuber Will Smith of YouTube Rewind fame. Now, the genie is downright insulting to look at. Just look at this right here. This looks racist. I feel like I'm going to get demonetized just for showing a picture of Will Smith as the genie here. This looks like a Halloween costume that your insensitive friend would wear to a Halloween costume party, and everyone would look at them disappointed. Because it just doesn't look right. This looks bad. It looks really just unsettlingly bad, as if we're insulting a group of blue people by using this kind of costume. And I'm using costume as an all-encompassing term for the character design here. This is obviously not a costume, it's just really shitty CGI that looks like the Scorpion King from The Mummy Returns. He looks like what Blue Balls would look like in the real world. He is like the incarnation of Blue Balls. It's just insulting to look at and just downright disrespectful to the original property. Now, you can't use the excuse that this is for kids, because it's not. This is very clearly not for kids. This is marketed towards an older demographic, you know, fucking hairy greaseballs like me that are chasing nostalgia boners. So they've got the throwbacks to the original. They've got Will Smith as the genie. If they wanted this for kids, they wouldn't use fucking Will Smith. I don't think they'd be in the meeting room at Disney Studios and just all of a sudden, what do kids like? Fortnite, Ninja, and Eureka, Will Smith. We'll get Will Smith as a genie. Kids love him. That makes no sense. Will Smith is an iconic figure from the 90s, early 2000s. Kids don't really respect Will Smith or even know of Will Smith, I imagine. So that is clearly not a move for kids. And even if, you know, let's go ahead and say this is 100% for kids, it's still bad. Why should it get a pass from being criticized for being bad? It looks awful. It really looks bad. This looks like something you see on the Hallmark Channel around the seasonal holidays. I really just don't understand what is the point in even remaking Aladdin in live action if you're not even going to do it well. You have the budget to do it well. You're fucking Disney, for God's sakes. You could literally buy Jesus Christ and bring him down from heaven to earth if you wanted to with your money. Why take a property that people love and make it look this bad and clearly soulless? It just makes no sense to me. Will Smith, here's the genie, looks like the offspring of Thanos fucking a Smurf. It's silly looking. Actually, I go a step above that. It's more than just silly, it's downright disturbing looking. This looks like something you would tell your kids would visit you at night if you didn't finish your vegetables to scare them into eating their vegetables. It just doesn't look right. There's no effort in this CGI at all. I mean, the whole fucking remake seems effortless. I'll go ahead and say, except for the setting. The setting looks pretty nice. It looks like they at least cared about some of the visuals, not all of them, based on the 15 seconds of total footage we've seen of the movie. But anyway, I hate this trend of making live-action remakes of shit from the past. I also really hate the trend of 3-second sneak previews, the teasers. I cannot stand that shit at all. A little pro tip to any up-and-coming directors or any hopeful film people: don't do it. Just don't. Just make me happy and just don't fucking do it. It's such a waste, a true waste. All it could ever do is serve to make people write it off immediately because you don't give them enough to go off of. So 9 times out of 10 you show them some shit that they don't care about and they already lose interest in the movie. You're doing more harm than good when you release these little foreplay teaser useless things. But anyway, that's it. Aladdin might be shit, probably will be shit.